Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. In today's episode, we are going to take our new friends here and build them a very luxurious apartment over the void way up in the sky. I also built a house for this episode, but I saved that footage for the end, so please stick around and let me know what you think. Let's get right into it. I was mining cobblestone again for the house project. Where did this nasty show up from?
What is your major mouth?
I was going to have to look around for some spawnable spots. Apparently I've missed something. I went about making the walkway out to the breeder location just a little bit safer by going 3 wide with lower slabs. Next we'll make a few ladders. I want to keep plenty of separation from the villager breeder and any other villager activity, so I'll go up at least 20 blocks. Next I got to work on this new apartment. That's 2 blocks. And in that area will be a bed. Then there will be a gap that the baby villagers can fall into. So next I constructed a 3x3 platform, and I made the sides 3 high. I covered the top with slabs to prevent spawns and to prevent losing my villagers to lightning. I've had that happen before. Has that ever happened to any of you? Let me know in the comments. And I added some glass. I just like to be able to see in, even though I'll be able to walk in here anytime I want to. And next I added the beds. I realized later that I only needed 2, but decided to leave it for now. An extra villager really wasn't a bad idea. And I added some trapdoors. These will allow me to come and go. It will keep the adult villagers safely in their apartment, but the babies will be attracted to the bed outside and will go for a swim instead. And this is where they will fall. Wow, nice ladder clutch. Normally I die. I chopped my way to the top of a spruce tree earlier to get a good shot of the house, and I found some trespassers up there. I built a collection system for the baby villagers. 5x3 works well for me, and I can usually grab them out of the corner. I'll have to use boats this time, and I've never done that before, so I hope it works. I think I've seen it done though, but we'll figure it out. Again, I used a row of glass, just for looks. I'm almost out of glass, and I'll have to go back to the desert temple soon, but man, is it a hump. Where do these nasties keep coming from? Another one.
What have we got here? A f***ing comedian.
I added some top slabs and some torches just to be safe. I rearranged this wall so it wouldn't impede the water flow to the corner. Now I was ready to get the villagers relocated. I was going to need a ton of wood for this. Since I had left spawnable spaces on the top of those giant spruce trees, I figured now was the time to take them down. Parkour! Armed with a metric butt-ton of spruce wood, I located the spot to build up a staircase for the villagers. If there's anything I have learned from working with villagers, it's that you have to plan for every contingency. If they are allowed to do something stupid, they often do, and all of your hard work is out the window. So my staircase worked out really well. I guess I can do math sometimes. Next, I installed some safety railing. I can't rely on the villagers' infinite wisdom to make sure they don't take a long walk off a short pier. With that complete, I needed to make this cobblestone path wide enough to accommodate the boats. It was time to move the new tenants, but I decided I needed to test the boat going over the trapdoors. It didn't seem like it was going to work, and it didn't. I was definitely glad I tested it. The last thing I needed was a villager standing on top of trapdoors. Originally, I wanted to drive the boats as close to the stairway as possible, but I hadn't planned for that very well, so on to plan B. I had to child-proof the place and make sure the only place they could go was up the stairs. I had to install gates and cabinet latches and outlet covers and remove any blocks they could potentially jump on. It was finally time, so hitboxes on.
Outstanding.
This is what I mean. This guy wants to go in the water stream. You never can be too careful with these villagers. I started to lure them up with a workstation. It wasn't going very well. Finally, they started to make their way up. The sun was setting, and I think they were able to pathfind to the beds. Whew. Okay, 2 villagers in their new apartment.
Good night, ladies.
I wanted to get these 2 breeding right away, so I decided to take them some carrots. Well, I meant to do that. I got skills. Sweet, we got hearts. I started the process of removing the staircase and the safety rails. And we have our first villager. He'll get his own apartment too, but with security. Sorta. I wanted to get these 2 villagers some professions to start trading with them right away. I made a fletching table, because I do have wood, and I collected the brewing stand and made another mess. Alright, we've got 2 villagers now. I can trade rotten flesh with the cleric, and I can get redstone. Soon I'll be able to automate some of these farms. And I went ahead and gave them some more food. There's no fridge in this apartment. After a good night's sleep, I went back up to the breeder to trade for the world's first emeralds. It really makes you feel like big progress is being made and hopeful for what's coming soon. Next, we will get to work on an iron farm, and I'm going to need more materials. So before I built the iron farm, I wanted to capture a zombie. I thought about trying to get one from the mob farm, but that was a little risky. Ultimately, I decided to build a small platform out over the void and use some trapdoors and a boat to capture one that way. I got the platform built, the trapdoor in place, and the boat, but nothing was spawning. At first, I thought it was the mob cap, so I tried to empty out the mob farm while it was still light, but no joy, and the platform seems to be lit up somehow. I even tried to get a zombie from the mob farm and was successful. He picked up an item and I threw him a chainmail helmet. Apparently chainmail must not work and he burnt up in the sun. This platform is lit up. We are in the void. It's nighttime. Block light should be absolutely zero. Absolutely. But I was reading 13 and 14. I never could figure this one out. I even tried logging out and logging back in. I even completely shut down the mob farm in case it had something to do with the mob cap, even though that didn't make sense. If you have any ideas what was going on here, please let me know in the comments. I had to build the platform further out where block light was actually zero. I got the new platform built and check it out, it's a slime chunk. So we will exploit that very soon. And boom, that was another achievement as well. Waiting for night to fall, I decided to make my first trade with the cleric. I finally got a zombie to spawn on the new platform and he was even holding an arrow, so I was fairly confident that we could keep him around. I gave him a nice gold helmet to wear. I hope he tightened a chin strap, and I built a platform over his head just in case. Redundant systems are important, I think. Some target practice out here on the range. Booyah. One shot, one kill. Well, not one shot because his bow sucked. I totally forgot to record most of the iron farm build, so I'm sorry for that. While I wait around for nighttime, here's what we've got going on so far. Credit for this iron farm to Aristotle Gaming. He makes some great tutorial videos, and this one is adapted from one of his newer versions. He also has a brand new video out on a new iron farm that is super fast, and I will be upgrading this one as soon as possible. Links in the description. Try to swing by his channel sometime. He also just rebooted his SMP server and it's open to the public. One of the key features of his farm is the water over the top of these stone walls. It makes the zombie bounce up and down. I had to make some modifications because I am over the void and I don't have any glass right now. I don't feel like running back to the desert temple just yet. The zombie goes in here. Make sure to put a slab over his head so he doesn't burn up. And this is a 3x3 area where the villagers go, and the iron golems will spawn out here on this platform. I used fence gates on the sides to help hold the water back and the golems can't spawn on them. Next, I had to get the villagers and the zombie into the farm, so I built another staircase and some more safety rails. Always put your villagers into the iron farm first and make sure they've slept at least once before adding the zombie, or the farm will not work. I tried to grab a villager through this corner with a boat, and boom, I got two on the first go around. I turned hitboxes on and still managed to whack this guy with an axe. Sorry about that, my man. And off they go to the beds. Perfect. I got two villagers again on the next try, so I'll have to do something with the extra one. This guy's freaking me out. I think they had a seance in there. He's levitating. Now I had to get this extra villager to safety, and I think he will be my head librarian in charge of, let's say, mending. With him safely out of the way, it was time to get back to the iron farm. I don't have access to lava, so in a creative test world, I experimented using campfires. You can run the water streams over the top of the campfires, and it doesn't put the campfires out. It also doesn't destroy items, so that was what I decided to go with. I added the water streams first, then the campfires. I put slabs here, and these should hold the iron golems in over the campfires to burn up. Now I had to engineer some sort of collection system, and I didn't want to have to come up here, so this was my idea. I held the water back with fences and let the water flow down this ramp. In my first test, the items flew through the fences at the end of the water streams, and those blocks had to be replaced. Then with some small adjustments, the items flowed down the ramp fairly well. Next, it was time for me to add the zombie into the farm. This went pretty smoothly. He does have a helmet on, but I still have a slab above his head. I don't want to risk anything. And I went ahead with the process of tearing down this walkway that I used to get him here, and I wasn't paying attention, and this happened. And it's working. And there goes our first iron into the farm. And it wasn't long before I was able to add a hopper and a chest to the collection system and make my life a little bit easier still. So the villager breeder's up and running, the iron farm is up and running. Once in a while they spawn right on the edge like this and they don't flow down the water streams. And I don't know what to do to fix that. But for now I just grab a bow, and boom. There you go. So, like I said at the beginning, I decided to build a house. Oftentimes in my Minecraft worlds, I won't even build a house. I just end up with my crap scattered all over the grass, kind of like this. But I wanted to make a real house. I decided that I wanted to incorporate some warp stems because they were our way out of the nether in the beginning. Oh, we have some visitors up top, I see. After collecting a good supply of warp stems and lighting blocks, I went back to the overworld. We are going to need a decent amount of stone for this. At the tree farm, I started gathering wood. I started with some spruce and then some oak wood. I wanted to have the entrance to my house here, just past the tree farm. And I'm building a wide staircase up to what will soon be the front door with warp slabs. So that's our house, all done and dusted. I was kind of going for a Viking fantasy boat thing since we're floating out over the void. Let me know what you think. I did some off-camera work. I didn't capture it all, but I'll show you what's going on here. I relocated the crops and put them out on a platform next to the tree farm. I also built a platform out there for the cows and for the sheep, which happens to be another slime chunk. And I built a dirt pathway over there to try to get the grass blocks to expand over to the sheep. And I made a dirt bridge out to the sheep farm to try to get the grass to migrate over there. Because where the sheep farm and the crops are now is where I'm going to put our villager trading hall. So hey, genuinely, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel and trying to get better at this every day. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. Have a great day. Until the next time, Devil Dog MC, over and out.